Welcome back, ladies and gentlefish, to another fucking video.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Now, today we have an original video. I think it's original anyways. I don't think I've ever seen this, particularly for this game. So, original video, that's what I'm calling it. It's an original video idea for this game. This game is in my bottom 2 favorite Assassin's Creeds. It is ass, right? The least favorite is Odyssey. I will not get into that, because if I go into that, I will go into a huge rant, like I have done in the past. Now you may be thinking, if I think the game is ass, why am I doing a video on it? Why? Well, my answer to that, my dear children, is I actually see potential in this game. Yes, I see potential in my second least favorite Assassin's Creed game. Yes, I don't know how that makes sense, but let me explain to you, my dear children. Now, I have said multiple times in the past about Assassin's Creed Valhalla that I see a ton of potential in the story. Now, you may be thinking, how? It's so bloated with a lot of crap and nothing to do. How can you see potential in this story? It makes no sense. Now, my dear Watson, calm down, chill out, take a chill pill, get some popcorn, get a drink, because we might be here for a long time. Right, let me explain to you why I see so much potential in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Let me explain to you where Ubisoft went wrong whilst trying to not hit a dead horse that's already been hit and points that have already been made and proven. I am going to show you where Ubisoft went wrong and what could have been instead. So, let's get into it. Let's get into why I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla's story is
Such wasted potential.
Now, when we all finally reached the end of Valhalla in our first playthrough, we all was very confused and was wondering what the fuck is going on in Assassin's Creed. It makes no sense. What the fuck? Why are they demigods? Why is Odin all of a sudden a part of the Isu race? It makes no sense. What the fuck? And that stuck with me for so many months and so many years. So this stopped when Assassin's Creed Mirage was released, and of course many videos of Master Assassin, which definitely helped a lot. So I would like to thank Master Assassin for helping me out.
I never said thank you. And you'll never have to.
Now, still, my understanding of the story is still very little, but I think it's a good amount for me to at least go, you know what, Valhalla, I see what you were trying to do, but it kind of flops a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I think one of the main reasons why Valhalla's story was such a mess is the gap in between each thing is ridiculous. Now, of course, with the huge open world that Ubisoft likes to do, and just the amount of crap that they like to fill in these open worlds, you know, it kind of just, there's a huge pause in the story, you know, unless you're like me, where you just do not give a fuck, and you just go through the story even though your power level is a lot weaker than what it's supposed to be. But fair play to you if you manage to go through the story, collect whatever bullshit you needed to then come back and be able to retain the information that the story gave you 6 hours ago. Fair enough, well played. Now, I can't necessarily stay on that topic for long, for the main fact of it's already been beaten up for so long. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, dead horse. I can't just beat up a dead horse that's already been picked at. You guys know what's wrong with the game. You know what I'm saying? So I can't stay on that topic a lot, as long as I want to. Because if I stay on that topic, this video is going to be longer than what it needs to be. Now, the alliance table, right? The alliance table is just there just because. Just to fill out time between each arc, between each important arc, right? Although, they're not even necessarily important. To be fair, the only ones that are important are the ones where it has Sigurd and Basim. The ones that have Sigurd and Basim, fair enough, that plays a role. But the others are just there, just to fill out time, just to fill out this open world that is completely dead, and it's just pointless, right? There's so much shit in this game, it's completely stupid. You can do so many alliance things, alliances, and they mean nothing in the end. You reach the end of the game, it's just like, what's the point of doing all these alliances? Only certain arcs actually matter, and the only ones that matter, like I've said, are the ones with Basim and Sigurd, because they're the important ones. That's where the story is, with Basim and Sigurd and Eivor. They're the only ones that matter. Now, I have said that Assassin's Creed Valhalla has gone in two separate ways with its story. One is an Assassin's Creed-esque kind of like story, and then the other one is a Viking simulator, go kill them, go chop off people's limbs simulator. That is what it's split into, and it's completely ridiculous. I feel like that is a main staple at the moment with some games, is that there's two stories that they want to tell, but instead of sticking with one that completely makes sense for the franchise, they just end up making two stories and completely ruining the game. It's so stupid. Now, as an Assassin's Creed fan, the way where I think the story was supposed to go was with Sigurd and Basim and Eivor, of course. Now, if you have played Mirage shows you kinda on what this manifestation stuff is. Now, I thought at first that it was that God takes over said person's body and that is now their body, and that person no longer exists. But Mirage, as far as I understand it, explains it as that person is still there, but they accept the memories and personality traits of that god, They kind of just accept it, and boom. That's why Basim is like how he is in Valhalla, but I still think that there should be a sequel to Mirage because there's so much like empty space between Mirage and Valhalla. I don't know, but we're not getting into that right now. Now, I feel like the story should have focused more on Eivor and Basim, because in my opinion, we don't necessarily get anything that kind of leads on to Basim being the manifestation of Loki. And I know we kind of see throughout the game Eivor and Odin being more together and everything, but to me, the manifestation process is kind of odd, because you have to accept that half of you, because as we see in Mirage, Basim accepts Loki, but in Valhalla, Eivor rejects Odin, which is interesting, and that isn't picked on enough. It is kind of odd because throughout the whole game, Eivor and Odin work together, they work as one, but when it comes to finally fully accepting Odin as one half of Eivor, he fully just dips. He's just like, yeah, nah, I don't want your memories and your personality trait. I'm good, I'm chilling. And guess what, Odin? It's all about family.
With me, wisdom, glory, power. What more do you need?
I don't have friends. I got family.
But honestly, that's one reason why it makes the ending and the twist, quote unquote, so lackluster, is because yes, we play as Odin through the potions that Seer gives us. I think that's what it's called. But we drink those potions, we play those missions, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that necessarily gives us oh shit, Basim's Loki, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, at the end of the day, the twist, quote unquote, is so shit, because I feel like there could have been more focus on that. I mean, if you wanted Basim as your main big bad, at least do it properly. At least have the story centered around Basim and the manifestation process. You know what I'm saying? And what bugs me even more is the fact of the only time this manifestation stuff is touched upon is through the last cutscene. The last cutscene, and that's it, and that's when Eivor makes sure that his brain hole is saved through the machine, and that's so dumb. Wouldn't you want the story to center around that, and center around Eivor and Odin's manifestation? and not only that, how Basim and Loki are getting on. Because at the end of the day, it's so dumb how they've done it. Oh yeah, you're gonna do like 600 hours of Viking stuff, and then throughout the main story, we're just gonna give you lackluster stuff. You're gonna give you lackluster story about Bassam. We're gonna give you lackluster story about Evil. We're gonna give you lackluster story about everything, because at the end of the day, we actually wanted a Viking simulator, not an Assassin's Creed game. Like, you feel free to let me know in the comments if I've got this completely wrong, if my brain hole is too small to comprehend what Ubisoft did. But, you know, in my opinion, they have not done it well. And the fact that they mainly focused on 600 hours of gameplay than the main story is completely stupid. Because what's the point of getting all these, like, factions to help you, all these people to help you? I know it's not called factions, but the first thing that came to my brain, so let's go with it. But what's the point of getting all these people, all these alliances, and then nothing happens with it? What's the point? What is the point? You've just made me run around, do chores for people for nothing. Come on, man. Like, I would have rather had a bounce between of the manifestation process, which would have but obviously make it make sense in Assassin's Creed world. Like, I can accept the fact that the Isu are then, you know, putting their brains into people from like way back. I can accept that, I really can. Just do it in a way that makes sense. And I know for a fact Assassin's Creed is not one for realism and just likes to do their own thing. But like, Jesus Christ. Jesus, like, this is no way me saying that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a good Assassin's Creed game, because it's really not. It's lacking in so many things, and I refuse to go on to it because it's just being a dead horse. Like, it really is just being a dead horse. I just feel like the story has potential, but they just shit on it and decide to go, you know what, let's just give you 600 hours, and it's just, why? Focus on the manifestation process. Focus on Odin and Eivor stuff. Focus on Basim and Loki stuff. Focus on... it's just pissed me off so much. Do you see how passionate I am about Assassin's Creed? It just happens so much. I just don't understand, like... Ugh. How can you fumble the bag so hard with gameplay, with what you were doing anyways, and just... Like, I can accept things to a push. That's why I, like, see the story. I'm just like, okay, they could have done this. They could have done this better. They could have actually done something here. But no, decided to just completely fumble the bag. And it's like, it's just breathe. It's like, especially with DLC as well, because the DLC is 10 times worse, especially when it more relies onto the Odin stuff. It's so ridiculously dumb that pushes it too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stop. And I know what you're gonna think. Oh, they have Apple of Eden, they have Swords of Eden, they have, like, so many pieces of Eden. They have a DLC where Connor turns into a bloody bird. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that you can just go, well, Ubisoft did this in the past on old games. But there's certain things that I can just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. But to me, the fact that they've just gone, you know what, let's just smack on more Odin shit for DLC, it's just, I don't want to be fighting Norse bosses. I don't want to be fighting godly bosses. I want to be fighting people that are using Apple of Eden to then control the world, right, by the way that they want to, by taking away people's freedom. I want to be an assassin taking people out. I want to be an assassin doing assassin things. Like, yes, I've said that I'll let it slide with the Isu god bullshit, but I will not stand by and let Ubisoft just go, you know what? You can fight a, Norse enemy today. You can do that instead of assassinate people.
This is
you can do that instead of doing what this franchise is all about. But yeah, let me know if you think that, you know, them focusing on the manifestation process and shit like that, and just Basim and Eivor a lot more instead of slapping in a 10-ton of shit, would have been better as a story than what they have done. I know you was probably hoping for a more Assassin's Creed-like game, but at the end of the day, I was trying to dig out as much as good possible out of this story, and, you know, just say what the, you know, main focus could have been about. But, you know, I'll see you in a bizzle. Take care. Peace.